we will learn about learning flowcharts and algorithms. Hey friends, let's learn how to take a stepwise approach to solve problems and plan activities. This involves identifying the different stages that will lead us to the outcome and the steps to be performed at each stage. We need to overcome problems. Overcoming a problem involves creating solutions. It means we overcome problems by creating appropriate solutions for solving the problem. There are different ways to solve various problems. We all have basic intelligence that helps us to solve day-to-day problems. It helps us in making strategies to handle different situations which keep arising in day-to-day life. I and one of my friend are going to the market with our pocket money. Let's say we have 100 rupees in our pocket. We want to buy a particular item of our choice. The item would cost us 170 rupees, so we quickly calculate that we are short of 70 rupees. Now, using our basic intelligence, I and my friend can decide whether to buy that item or ask for more money from our parents. This is how we use our intelligence to solve our day-to-day problems. Let us first start with introduction to programming. Every activity has a sequence of steps that need to be followed. A computer also works by using step-by-step instructions written in a specific programming language. These instructions bundled together are called programs. In programming, there are two methods of solving a given problem. Okay students, now we will talk about problem-solving methods. Problem-solving is the act of identifying a problem, identifying what caused a problem, selecting a solution for solving a problem. For example, you are driving back home on a bike. You were about to reach when suddenly your bike breaks down. No matter how hard you try to start it again, the engine doesn't start again. What is the first thing you will check to solve this problem, and what will be the next step, and what next? In the above example, we can see that a problem can be solved using specific steps. But before we start solving a problem, it is important to pen down all the desired actions we want to take for solving a problem. The two most common problem-solving methods are algorithm. An algorithm is a set of instructions written in English, designed to solve a particular problem. This can be a simple problem, such as multiplying two numbers, or a complex issue, such as creating an app for playing a compressed video file. Flowchart. A flowchart is a pictorial representation of a workflow or process. A flowchart can also be defined as a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm, a step-by-step approach to solving a task. Let's learn about each method in detail one by one. Okay, let's start with algorithm. An algorithm is a step-by-step process of solving a problem written in simple English language. It produces an ordered sequence of steps that provides a solution to a problem. Any algorithm should have the following 5 properties, otherwise, it will not fulfill the primary objective of solving a problem. These properties are: finiteness. An algorithm must always terminate after a finite number of steps. Definiteness. Each step of an algorithm must be clearly defined. Input. Any operation you perform needs some beginning value associated with different process activities. So, the values are given to the algorithm before it begins. Output. One always expects output result in terms of output from an algorithm. The result may be obtained at different stages of the algorithm. Effectiveness. Algorithms should be developed written using simple steps. Operation steps should be simple, so that even they can be done precisely and in a finite amount of time by a person, by using paper and pencil only. Advantages of an algorithm: easier to write and understand. It can be written in English and is not dependent on any programming language. It can be written using a pen and paper. Disadvantages of an algorithm: Since no standards are used, it is difficult to maintain consistency. An algorithm is a concept and is not an actual computer program. Steps to write an algorithm. It always starts with start and ends with stop. Every instruction written in the algorithm has a number. Each instruction is written in a separate line. Each statement is precise and is written in the English language. Let's now create our first algorithm to add to numbers. Algorithm to add to numbers. Step 1. Start. Step 2. Declare variable a, b, and sum. Step 3. Read the values of variables a and b. Step 4. Add the values of a and b and store the result in variable sum. Step 5. Print the value of sum. Step 6. Stop. Algorithm to find the area of a rectangle. Step 1. Start. Step 2. Declare variable L, B, and area. Step 3. Read the values of variable L and B. Step 4. Area is equal to L x B. Step 5. Print the value of area. Step 6. Stop. Okay, now talk about flowchart. A flowchart is a pictorial representation of a workflow or process. The flowchart makes use of various graphic symbols. These symbols are used to symbolize the flow of the problem-solving process. Flowcharts are used in designing, documenting a program. Before we start creating a flowchart, let's first learn about the various symbols that are used for creating flowcharts. Start and stop. An oval represents a start or end point. Arrows, flow lines indicate the direction of flow of control in a flowchart. Input-output. A parallelogram represents input or output statements. Process. A rectangle represents a process or formula. Decision. A diamond indicates a decision statement. Flowchart to add to numbers A and B. Advantages of flowcharts. The symbols are self-explanatory and easy to understand. Flowcharts help to analyze problems effectively. Disadvantages of flowcharts. Drawing a flowchart takes a lot of time. Difficult to handle complex programs, as the size of a flowchart is bound to increase then. Any change in the flowchart may require redrawing it completely. Steps to draw a flowchart. The following types of instructions are followed in a program for drawing a flowchart. Sequence. All the steps are shown using flowchart are executed one after another too. Selection. When the flow of control of the program is based on a condition. Iteration or loop. A loop is a sequence of instructions that repeats itself for a specified number of times or while a particular condition is true. Let us quickly have a look on chapter review. Every activity has a sequence of steps that need to be followed. An algorithm is a set of instructions written in English, designed to solve a particular problem. A flowchart is a pictorial representation of a workflow or process. An algorithm is a step-by-step process of solving a problem written in simple English language. An algorithm must always terminate after a finite number of steps. Definiteness means that each step of an algorithm must be clearly defined. An algorithm always starts with start and ends with stop. A flowchart is a pictorial representation of a workflow. A flowchart makes use of various graphic symbols. Flowcharts help to understand problems effectively.